Being a war correspondent can be dangerous, of course, but not usually because you're looking out for low-flying helicopters. Expected gold medal in history? Probably, but he's still gonna take it. Now this is what you call a save. How to do a comedy fall without even falling. It's still a strike, even if you throw the ball and yourself. And now the deadliest boomerang in the world. A ghost must have helped him here. Yes, here she is, the accidental Tiger Woods of Ringo. I believe this is what they call extreme flirting. Don't you just hate it when you just want some instant noodles, but all you get is a bunch of lousy iPhones? This Pinsel clearly tells you which hole to use. Or is this just the luckiest pool player ever? When something like this happens, you can only stay cool for so long. Every snowboarder's worst nightmare. A rogue squirrel! Yes, this is a woman in the lion enclosure of a zoo. And no, she shouldn't be in there. And yes, she did make it out without being injured. Amazingly. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, those fish like the taste of people. These guys are about to run away very quickly, and you're about to see why. Here's a visual representation of the word almost. It's just like threading a needle, but wetter. Crossing roads in Vietnam clearly requires perfect timing and nerves of steel. A pinata is no match for Wonder Woman and her huge stick. And neither are any of her friends. An impressive strike from a distance, followed by an equally impressive amount of smugness. Why don't we ever see this event in the Olympics? This cheerleader was almost significantly less cheerful. Why use a bottle opener? There are much cooler ways to achieve your objective. Yes, that's pretty cool. But do these people not have jobs to go to? And now here's a wheelie with the wrong wheel. In this version of football, you can use your feet and everything else. This is why they say women are multitaskers. In the right hands, anything can be a bike lane. And to finish, one of the unluckiest people ever caught on camera. CCTV cameras are great when it comes to security, but when it comes to keeping your embarrassing fails secure from the eyes of millions, you might be out of luck. Why would you ring the doorbell with your tongue? Well, because you're stuck in a ladder, obviously. Duh. And this, folks, is why it's worth spending the extra money on a reinforced door. Well, unless that is the homeowner and they've forgotten their key. If you get the chance to prank your partner while doing the chores, you should always take it. A visit to the gas station is expensive these days, especially if this happens. A good example of why you should always keep your keys in your pocket. If you're looking for a lesson on how to look stupid on camera, then this guy should be your teacher. Have you ever seen those dog diapers? Well, they're precisely for moments like this. You get the feeling that there should be a man running after this. Oh, there he is. Luckily, this girl was fine, which is amazing given the relaxed way only 2 people went over to help her. When you realize that your wife has a secret life as a rally driver. One of those days when you leave work feeling completely tired. This woman is a cool ninja. She just has mastered the art of not attacking herself with a cue. Just that section of the supermarket where your kid can find a nice razor blade to completely shave his head with. How do you know when it's time to repair that pothole? This. Do you ever get that weird feeling that you've forgotten something? When you start off your day as a delivery guy and end it as a hostage. There's being scared of dogs, and then there's being really scared of dogs. The first thing a real estate agent should be double checking is that the house they're showing is actually up for sale. Well, not this guy. If you're being chased by the police, you've got 2 options. Run, or just have a nice sit down. How to fall with style, and completely ruin all the efforts you've made to look cool in front of the girls. This car's about to have some pretty permanent air conditioning. This guy thought he'd have trouble getting home on an empty tank. Now he'll just have trouble getting home, period. Never underestimate how nosy your neighbors can be, even your neighborhood dogs. Whatever these guys saw, it wasn't scary enough to stop the dog going back for its toy. When you realize you've left your dignity in the car. Monkey? And what's the correct protocol? Call the monkey police? It's bad enough to fall into the sidewalk, but even worse to fall into something that looks like a raw sewage. Luckily, their colleagues were there to pull them to safety. And now here's someone getting tripped up by a ghost. Huskies are really cute and lovable, right? Right? If 2 men decide to push a car, it helps if they're both pushing in the right direction. These 2 women appear to be sober, and yet they still can't tell the difference between glass and thin air. Weirdly, this really reconstructed seat just wasn't very secure. You take an attack by a fridge so personal. Keep your eyes on those bills, because the one she gives him after he sorts out the change is a little less valuable. In other words, yes, it's a scam. This woman doesn't even try to stop, which is weird because this is a really ineffective way to end your own life. Here's someone who hasn't grasped the basic idea of a steering wheel. Hey, you know how that sign says construction zone? Well, don't drive in there. When you forget about the emergency brake. Twice. Nobody told this guy that you're supposed to let go of your luggage when you put it on the conveyor belt. Watch as this good Samaritan stops to help this poor guy completely trash his car. Some puddles are slightly deeper than others. That's just basic science. This security gate clearly isn't too effective, which is why they have 2 furry alternatives. We're not sure what this guy is saying in this clip, but we're sure it's something polite like, "Whoops, silly me." We've seen seen a few clips of people being scared of dogs, so here's something a bit different. When your work desk becomes a metaphor for your work life. Sometimes dogs can be a bit too friendly. It takes a special kind of driver to be in a completely empty parking lot and still hit the curb. Here's another person struggling to open one of those pesky invisible doors. Proof that cats just take human affection. You ever feel that if you relax for one moment, everything will fall to pieces? Nobody can destroy the house in an instant quite like a dog. This surveillance camera comes straight from the Starship Enterprise. When your van gets tired of your crap. You should always be moving forward in life, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't learn how to reverse. No matter what anyone says, tractors cannot pass through solid objects. When you use a trash can like a football, and the trash can uses you like a UFC sparring partner. When a swarm of people start looting the 7-Eleven you work at, there's not much else you can do but watch. Another victim of the "I thought there was a chair there" routine. Like any hero, she wasn't thinking of herself. Most of the beer survived. And he's still chasing that piece of paper to this day. Someone should be holding that ladder, and here's why. Would you like to be able to trash your car in 3 different ways? Well, here's an expert in the field. The eternal battle of car owner versus tow truck. When you can't figure out why your engine has suddenly started purring. Here's a criminal who clearly failed geometry. Some people have superhero reflexes. Some dogs warn you of intruders, and some dogs warn you to look busy before your wife returns home. Unlike the guy who couldn't get the cash register through the window, this is one seriously well planned out burglary. It's always good to see why your friends do a silent comedy video every time you visit them. When you suddenly realize that your son has developed ingenious and slightly weird... Don't you hate it when you leave your wallet in the house and avoid getting crushed by an exploding tree? This is why bike lanes are always a good idea, because of sidewalk trucks. Sadly, this guy's bike wasn't as lucky as him. Some people just get sick and tired of walking everywhere and decide to travel like this instead. This guy is clearly a hero, but who decided to build a pedestrian crossing on a train line? This is considered skill, not luck. Luckily, no one would try to ski on this treacherous mountainside. Oh, wait. How do you judge who your real friends are? No, what? Like this. When you accidentally bump into someone who turns out to be your hero. It's not often that hospitals see 2 identical volleyball injuries at the same time. Luckily, they didn't on this day either. Yep, he's clearly just slipped into the Matrix, even though his face has blood written all over it. Those jumps get any higher, he may be in danger of leaving the Earth's atmosphere. We're not sure who this guy's gymnastics coach was. He's clearly someone who has no respect for the laws of physics. suddenly realize that you might be related to Thor, God of Thunder. Hey, do it. A dress in the rain might be unlucky, but wait for it. He's quick, he's smooth, he knows it. There's nothing quicker than alcohol reflexes. Some cars just aren't built for speed, or off-road, or anything. Surely there must be some other form of braking available, rather than the leg. Luckily she didn't head down the rest of the hailsong's wheels. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the magical beer. No brakes, no helmet, no problem. Especially when you have skill, luck, and some very understanding motorists. Here's a classy and non-embarrassing way to arrive at your destination. Luckily, their legs were uncrushed by the falling bike. Can lightning strike a ball if you spray it with iron particles? Here's the answer. Okay, very impressive. Now just make the freaking pack now, will you? Lucky people can still fall. They just do it with style. The confidence of someone who gets a strike, but always knew they were going to anyway. If you're scared of heights, then grab onto whatever you can. Here are those incredible alcohol reflexes again. Faster than a speeding bullet. A great advertisement for this phone now, and for this guy's natural good luck. He couldn't have gotten closer if he'd been guided by lasers. This is clearly half car, half submarine. Either that or a combination of stupidity and blind luck. This precision landing is clearly due to plenty of skill, although a bit of luck probably doesn't hurt when it comes to staying dry. If you travel over this road on a regular basis, you're lucky to still be alive. There's no better way to start off a relaxing day at the beach than with multiple backward somersaults and a massive helping of luck. They say if you love someone, then you should let them go. And the same applies to car tires. If they come back, then it was always meant to be. At this speed is pretty terrifying, and narrowly avoiding one isn't great either. When you work in a garage, you have to have tire control in the same way soccer players have ball control. I suppose losing some beard is better than losing an entire beard. Yes, that's inescapable. Quick, someone put on a Matador's outfit! Not many humans are lucky enough to be invited to a sea lion's birthday party. These two orcas are seriously analyzing the pros and cons of a coordinated attack. A fearsome sight for any lone seal. Well, this seems safe. Yeah, like I said, perfectly safe. If you go to your local pool, then you're probably used to swimming with annoying kids. But anacondas are where everyone should draw the line. This kid has just made history as the first ever person to beat Tetris. Now he just has another 40 years worth of games to get through. When your gymnastics pays off in your skating. Luckily, everyone managed to run out of the way quickly, which is a good thing to do when a massive brain comes crashing to the ground. Better the bicycle than the person on it. Catch watching and chugging a beer while crowd surfing? It doesn't get more rock and roll than that.